Oh, my life just flashed before my eyes. I just tripped over my light. Not falling down the stairs today. All right. Hello, my planty pal. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Pearl. This is my channel, Plants with Pearl. I live in Canada and I grow houseplants and sell them online. If you live in Canada, I highly recommend you take a moment and go check out my website, www.plantswithpearl.ca. I've got tons of beautiful philodendron and monstera, epipremnum, a couple Dischidia. They are grown with so much love and care, and I would love to mail them to you so that you can have some really fun mail to open up, and then you will have beautiful houseplants to enjoy. Don't forget to sign up for my email list. You will receive a 15% off coupon for your first order with us, and that way you'll be in the loop for any new releases or restocks or sales. Definitely something you don't want to miss out on. And while I've got you here, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video. I've got over 200 planty pals right now. It's so exciting to me. I know that I keep talking about how I don't understand it, but I really don't understand it. But I'm here for it. So thank you guys so much for subscribing. And I'm having a good time. So as you can see, today we have a bit of a change of scenery from our typical YouTube setup downstairs. We are at the top of my stairs with the bulk of my favorites of my collection, and that's because we're just going to have a little feature of my plant wall behind me. The Thai constellation is just here for the intro. She has nothing to do with the wall, but she is so beautiful and just gave me the most beautiful, perfect leaf, and I just wanted everybody to get to enjoy her as much as I am. She's beautiful. Look at this. These just really do something for me. I love this plant so much, and it has been growing really, really well over the summer. I think that's her third or fourth leaf I've gotten in the last few months, so she's doing great. Thank you. I appreciate you. So yeah, today's video is just gonna be chatting about my plant wall, the plants that I have up there, tips, tricks, what I like about the plants that I have up there, what I don't like about a couple of the plants that I have up here, and I'm also going to take a look at the damage that the roots cause. Spoiler alert, it's really not anything to talk about. So yeah, let's get into it. Welcome back to my plant wall. I love it, if you can't tell. So we have lived in the house for just over 2 years. And if I recall correctly, it was a few months after we moved that I started putting plants up on the wall. I started out with the Pearls and Jade Pothos, or Pearls and Jade Epipremnum, the Philodendron Micans, the Epipremnum pinnatum variegated, as well as the Epipremnum pinnatum skeleton key. So the original plants that have been up on the wall have been up here about a year and a half. They have done so much growth in that year and a half. It's funny because at the beginning it feels like they're just not growing, they're not doing anything. But then after a few months, you look back and you realize that they've actually been putting in a lot of work this whole time. So yeah, plant parenting is definitely about patience. And while I would definitely not classify myself as a patient person, being a plant parent kind of beats that into you, whether or not you're ready. This is not the first plant wall that I have had. I am going to dig back into the archives and find pictures of my original plant wall. She was a single plant. It was a golden pothos. She was absolutely perfect in every single way. I think she was up there for about 2 years before we had to actually take her down because we were moving. And I had her hanging over the ceiling. It was great. I love a golden pothos. Golden pothos are one of the easiest plants to take care of, and if you throw them up on a wall, you will be blown away with what they're gonna give you. So obviously I had to move, and so she came down, and this is Plant Wall 2.0. And I decided to mix it up and have a bunch of different types of plants, and I am so glad I did because she's beautiful. As far as permanent damage to the wall, there's nothing going on here that a little bit of sandpaper and a fresh coat of paint isn't going to immediately erase. So it's not going to permanently damage your house. Having indoor plants growing up your wall is a completely different ball game from having ivy on the outside of your house growing freely and coming into your house and ruining your wiring and life slowly. So please don't get the two confused. I have seen some very strange articles online about how you should never let your plants grow up your wall because it's going to cause permanent damage. I think that is what's happening in those articles. People are conflating. Ooh, big word. That's the correct use of that word. Good for me. But yeah, I think that's what's going on because I've been doing this for years. My first version of my plant wall was at an apartment. I never heard anything from my old landlord. For the most part, I am very pleased with how everything is growing. Special shout out to the variegated epi, who is doing the absolute most, and I encourage that to continue on. Please don't stop. Another very special shout out to the skeleton key, because the difference between the immature leaves and the mature leaves on this plant is she's incredible. She's beautiful. We love her. Not special shout out to the Paraiso Verde, who, if you don't live in a warm climate, is just going to be a very frustrating and disappointing plant. I'll bring you in closer, but you can see all of these green plain leaves. It's growing happily, it's just really green. And then at the very top, because we finally had a couple months of warm weather, it's giving me beautiful variegation. But guess what? I've already decided that it's coming down. And just because it's giving me one pretty leaf, that's not enough to save it. Nope. You're coming off. My second dishonorable mention is going to this gigas. It's finally growing okay, but for many months it was not doing very much, and I just left it, and I thought I would give it a chance, and I've decided that the chance has been given and it's just not pulling its weight, so I'm gonna replace it with one of its better looking siblings from the basement, and you're gonna get chopped up and turned into a bunch of baby plants. I don't give these plants any special attention. I do have a humidifier. I usually fill it up a couple times a week in the winter, just because I'm in Canada. It gets pretty dry indoors in the winter, so I don't obsess over it. It's not running 24/7 or anything. It's just kind of something that if I remember to do it in the winter time, I do. This video is not sponsored, obviously, but I am going to tell you what I use to attach all of my plants, every plant I've ever attached to a wall. I've used the same clips. I discovered these very early on in my plant parent journey, and they work really well, and I haven't looked back since. Honestly, I probably should have bought stock in these little command hooks because I have definitely, over the years, purchased hundreds of them. They're really great. They work really well. So these are the Command Outdoor Light Hooks. You don't want to get the mini clip size. You want to get like just the regular clip size. This is what they look like. Now, some of the vines on some of the plants, like my Epipremnum, and the golden pothos, when I was using these, some of the vines do get a little too thick. But if you get them in there early enough, the plant will kind of just deal with it. These are the strips that you use. You just tear one of them off, stick it to the back of this really good, stick it onto your wall where you want the plant to vine up. And then it does work best if you let it attach to the wall for a few minutes before you try and like pry it open to shove your vine in there. I guess I'll do one on camera so I can show you what I'm talking about. So I've got my command hook here. I've already peeled the back off the blue side and attached it to my hook. And I'm just gonna put it where the direction that I want the plant to go. So out there. I'm just going to peel the wax paper off the back if I can. Oh, got it, perfect. Just gonna pop it onto the wall there, and you wanna press it down. The package says, I believe, to press it down for 30 seconds or a minute. But I've found over many times of doing this that especially when the sticker is freshly stuck, if you just yank on this, it's just gonna peel the sticker off right away. So I like to get in position. I like to use one of my fingers to hold the hook down on the wall. I could just wait a couple hours and then it wouldn't be as likely to peel off, but I've already established I'm not the most patient person. So I just do this. So you can hold it down with my finger. I'm gonna use my other finger to pry it open a little bit and really quickly, just gonna slide it in. And that's it. Ta-da! Again, not sponsored, but these are the clips that I swear by. And you can actually find them below the video you're watching right now in my links, my Amazon list. I've got these guys listed. They are so good, highly recommend, nothing else compares. So I've brought you guys in really close so you can take a look at this root situation for yourself. So, as you can see on the variegated epipremnum, all along the stem here, we've got these, I like to call these little feet. Kind of looks like a little caterpillar climbing up the wall or something, I don't know. But so these guys don't grow very far out away from the stem. They feel that there's something to grab onto, they reach out, grab onto it, and then they're done. So there are like hundreds of these little guys all the way up the stem, and I don't know, they're kind of cute, kind of creepy. I'm sure people are not gonna like the way they look, but the plant's just doing its planty thing. And then we've also got these bigger, thicker air roots that are on a mission to find another source of water, find some more dirt to crawl into, and they also definitely really attach themselves to the wall here. So you can see, like I'm hitting it pretty hard. It's solid, it's not going anywhere. With that being said, if you don't want your plants to attach to the wall as they're growing, with that being said, if this does make you uncomfortable, you can actually, as the plant grows, just peel them off the wall and not let them attach to your paint. And if you keep an eye on it, you probably could stay pretty on top of that. But as you can see here, they do come off. And then what's left behind here is really just a mark. It hasn't even peeled the paint off of the wall. It's just discolored from the root attaching itself in there. Wow, I just went on the adventure of a lifetime trying to find sandpaper in my house and couldn't. So I have this emery board and it's gonna work almost the same. It does in fact come off without any permanent damage. And then you can just paint over it and it's like it never happened. So you can show this to anybody in your life that won't let you put plants on your wall. As they say, it's gonna permanently damage the wall. As you can see here, that is not the case. Obviously, actual sandpaper would work even better, but you get the point I'm trying to make here. Of course, I have to do a special shout out to some of the extremely overachieving air roots. Look at this guy. So it starts up here and it goes all the way down. All the way down here. This one right here. All the way down. And then it actually found its way back into the pot. That's wild. This root goes all the way up. It really is quite impressive. I can't believe I almost forgot to show you this. I discovered this about 5 minutes before I started recording the video and I think it's so funny. So So you can look at it. Let me get out of there. All right, so look at this. So here we have a little vine growing its way up the wall. If you'll notice, it's being held down here by its friend. So this air root has come all the way over from this vine here, has been growing down, and I don't know how they managed to do this, how this happened, but this air root has grown over. It's attached to the wall here, it grew over and then reattached itself to the wall here. And this little growth point is still just carrying along like nothing happened. And I think that's hilarious. The plants are really gonna do what the plants wanna do. And of course I'm putting this Paraiso Verde on blast for being disappointing, but this is what I'm talking about. So here are the leaves that was throwing me last year when we put it up on the wall. Okay, pretty cute, a little bit of variegation, okay. Immediately, solid green leaf, followed by another solid green leaf, and you get the point. Thoroughly disappointing. About at this leaf, I decided that it's coming down off the wall, but I'm a procrastination queen, so I haven't done it yet. Kept growing, kept growing. This leaf is beautiful. Let me show you. Look at that. Look at how beautiful that leaf is. So beautiful. But guess what? It's too late for you. You're coming down. You can't convince me otherwise. It's too little too late. Now I will give respect where respect is due. Honorable mention to this absolutely stunning variegated Epipremnum pinnatum. She has been putting in the work since day one. And as you can see, she is simply beautiful. This Micans is really doing extra as well. I didn't realize there was gonna be such a change in the size of the leaves as it realized that it was growing up something. But just take a look at this. So here are the little baby leaves that we have at the beginning. And now they're huge. Like these leaves are so gorgeous. They're the size of my hand. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, so that guy's doing really well. Now my Pearls and Jade Pothos, this is the second time that I have put this baby up on a wall. She was also up on her own wall at my old apartment, and of course I had to pull her down to take her with me. And I chopped her completely back and started over on this wall. The unsupported leaves are smaller, they're still beautiful and gorgeous and healthy. The leaves get bigger and bigger and bigger. Get my hand in there. They are literally the size of my palm. Gorgeous. Love you. Well, my planty pals, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you are still watching, I do really appreciate you. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. My little army of planty pals is growing and I love it. It just really makes my day. Don't forget to check out my website if you live in Canada. Get yourself some houseplants. Maybe grab yourself a funny t-shirt. You can check all that out at www.plantswithpearl.ca. Let me know if you have any questions about putting your plants up on the wall. I don't have all the answers, but I will definitely do my best to share any wisdom that I have. I hope you have a really fantastic day. I hope your plants grow beautifully for you. And yeah, that's it. We'll see you next time.